In this episode of Deploying Friday, Matt Allford, developer advocate for Octopus Deploy, newly hired, will join us along with Jim, talking about support for the financial industry relative to compliance and Octopus Deploy. We've got OpenID Connect support for authentication and a whole bunch more. All this and more coming up on Deploying Friday. Hey everyone, it's Friday, which means time to deploy. We have a new guest on the show, Matt. Say hello to everyone.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me. I've started with Octopus Deploy recently as a developer advocate, and John has been kind enough to invite me onto the show here. So really excited to have a chat about what's been happening in the world of Octopus Deploy.
Awesome. And Jim, how was your week?
Yeah, good week. Still feel like we're catching up from all the holidays we've had recently, but a good week. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's get in the news. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Good at Matt along.
Oh,
Thank you.
There you
Yeah.
go. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get into the news. So this is an article from Steve entitled Financial Industry Compliance, the DevOps Way. So as you probably are aware, compliance in the financial industry is pretty important. Should be integrated into your daily DevOps workflows and not treated as a separate burden. So Steve's article here goes into all the main points you'd come to expect that Octopus Deploy obviously helps with this by automating key processes. Things like change approvals, runbooks, access control, provides built-in audit support, supports compliance standards such as ISO 27001, SOC 2, SOC 3, etc. Goes into automation and visibility and the reasons why you might want to have those things, helps reduce human error, etc. So basically DevOps first, and good article to get into if you're in the financial services industry. Definitely something worth checking out. I don't know if either of you have dealt with compliance, but certainly it's a bit of a gnarly topic at times.
Yeah, I have before. I've worked in some financial places, and yeah, when you can get it just out of the way and you don't even see it happening is when it's best, right? Like it's just everything's recorded anyway, so if you get it in the right places, yeah.
And as Steve said in the article, it's that balance between the compliance, but also still being able to deliver software at a fast pace and a high quality as well. And there's always a trade-off, isn't there? And you have to decide where you want to take that trade-off or where you want to make that trade-off. But Steve goes in to unpack those details of thinking about, does it always need to be that way? And how can you bring those two sectors together?
Awesome stuff. We have another blog post here from Grace entitled OpenID Connect Authentication for External Feeds. So recently we added support for OIDC or OpenID Connect authentication. This basically allows between server and server communication, allowing to establish those chains of trust. And so Octopus Deploy now supports OIDC authentication for external container registries that removes the need for storing and rotating static credentials. This helps obviously improve your security going forward. Previously, we'd have to rotate these things, and this support also includes AWS, Azure, and GCR, which is fantastic. This is really, really important, obviously, for AWS ECR or Elastic Container Registries, where your auth tokens expire after 12 hours, which is fantastic. And some of the things that we have in here, obviously, support for customizable access control. This is leveraging off of the OIDC subject. And then you've got cloud and self-hosted availability for this as well. And obviously, we support all the major providers. So another new feature that we have available inside of Octopus Deploy. And if you're at all curious, you can check out our roadmap. Of course, as I always like to tell people, roadmap.octopus.com. Make it your homepage, if not a bookmark. Definitely something worth checking out. Do you guys have any things around OIDC that you want to mention here? No? All right.
I'll jump in. I think it's a
three-way dynamic, aren't we?
yeah, that's right. I think it's a great move, and it's good to see this. And OIDC is a great protocol to be using for these sort of short-lived connections. And I think if you are really honest with yourself, how often are you really rotating some of those keys that you go and create statically and then put in a product somewhere? Because I think most of us probably aren't. So the move across to OIDC removes that risk around having long-lived keys.
Yep. Certainly many of us have been guilty for creating API keys, for example, and having them never expire, which is always awesome. So
yep.
There you go.
With all the permissions too.
That's right. Run as admin. What could go wrong? All right, so we've got another blog post here from Costas. This one's for the Codefresh blog entitled Combine Your Codefresh GitOps Cloud with your existing Argo CD instance. So this is obviously touching on the fact that we actually can bring your own Argo CD if you're utilizing our new product, Codefresh GitOps Cloud. And so we've just announced this. You can check out our webinar if you're all curious. But basically what we allow you to do is you can enable your own integration with your existing Argo CD installations. And that allows your teams to leverage, obviously, Codefresh's features without replacing their current setup. But users can define promotion flows between using a graphical editor or YAML, of course. And you can model your environments as first-class entities all within the platform. And so Costas goes through basically what the user experience looks like when utilizing it with Codefresh GitOps Cloud. Have either of you had a chance to kick the tires of, I know it's new, but Codefresh GitOps Cloud yet? Have you guys taken a look at it?
I must say that I really haven't. I feel a little guilty about it. I was looking at the show.
No, that's fine. You can download a trial. You know, it's that new. You know, so
yeah.
But you can definitely download a trial and check it out. And so if you're all curious at seeing what this looks like, obviously you can take advantage of this and bring your own Argo CD, as it says, and utilize this. Costas is really good about writing his blog post, which is obviously a lot of the time he's talking a lot about what it's like in the terms of the usage model. Lots of screenshots. His articles tend to be well documented with lots of UML and screenshots, etc. So it's fantastic to see. So that's Codefresh GitOps Cloud, utilizing with your existing Argo C instance. We have a webinar We have an event that's pretty popular here called Web Directions Code. This is typically oriented towards developers, and Mandy will be doing a presentation entitled Reducing Layout Shifts Caused by Font Rendering. So Mandy is a front-end developer, and she's from obviously at Octopus Deploy, and she'll be talking a little bit about how your layouts can get a little bit messed up by font loading. So font loading can trigger reflows, which is obviously not a thing you want all the time if you're doing front-end web dev. It can cause time to paint issues, etc. Reflows is basically when it has to render out the DOM again within the context of your browser, and can cause some visible instability, is a very graceful way of saying it. So Mandy's going to talk about this at Web Directions Code down in Melbourne in June 2025. So check it out there if you're all interested. And we also have a video here featuring Dan talking to Hillary entitled GitOps Guide to the Galaxy, episode 92. Argo 3 is on the way. So Dan and friends obviously contribute to the Argo project. Argo CD is the primary target there, and they talk about all the new stuff that's coming in. So obviously Dan works a lot with Kubernetes and Argo, etc. And so this is a video you can check out if you're all curious about finding out what's latest and greatest in Argo 3. And that's available now. We talked a little bit about this prior to KubeCon, and so if you're all interested, you can check out this video up on YouTube, which is awesome. And then obviously to wrap things up, we've got our webinars at octopus.com/webinars. We got our 101 scheduled. We have a few others that we're about to talk about. We've got Dan doing a GitOps one, and we've got also an upcoming webinar, which we haven't announced yet, but I'll share with you, and it's going to be on our Terraform provider. So we're going to have a whole session dedicated to our Terraform provider, and you'll find all this up on our webinars page, which is at octopus.com/webinars. A little bit of a buggy webinar today. That's okay. Matt, I'm going to blame you. This is what happens when you invite a guest. So
that's exactly right. Yeah, happy to take the blame. We can keep deploying on Fridays, but it's just a little snafu with the record on Friday this time.
It's display on Friday. There you go.
That's right. Yeah.
So Matt, just out of curiosity, where can folks find you online if they need to get in touch?
Yeah, I'd love to connect with anyone and everyone out there, so please do reach out to me. I'm lucky enough to have a relatively unique enough last name that if you just Google for Matt Allford, Allford, it'll pretty much pick me up, and my handle or tag, whatever you want to call it, on most of the social platforms is simply Matt Allford as well. So yeah, please do reach out. Love to connect to you, and with the community, and looking forward to bringing a whole lot of content here from Octopus Deploy out to the developer community.
Fantastic. All right. From all of us here to you, happy deployments.